She doesn't have friends, and that's exactly what makes her dangerous. Some women disappear, not because they are lost, but because they are becoming. They walk alone, not rejected, not broken, but quietly evolving beyond what others understand. Society calls them distant, difficult, unapproachable. But psychology tells a different story, because when a woman no longer needs the crowd, it is not weakness, it is power. Tonight, we explore the psychology of women without friends, and the 5 rare traits that set them apart. Stay with me. There is a question most people are afraid to ask, and an answer society does not like to hear. Why is it that some women walk through life without close female friends? No group chats, no weekend brunches, no circle to lean on, just silence. They are often judged immediately. Something must be wrong with her. She's difficult. She doesn't know how to connect. She must be lonely. But sometimes the woman without friends is not broken. She is rare. Carl Jung believed that the most misunderstood individuals are those who do not fit comfortably into social structures. Those who walk alone often do so because they are following something deeper than approval. Traits that are uncomfortable. Traits that isolate. Traits that reshape identity. And if this video makes you feel seen, stay until the end. Because the last trait changes everything. Trait 1. A powerful inner world. The first trait is not visible. You cannot see it on social media. You cannot hear it in small talk. But it is always there. Women with few or no female friends often possess an extraordinarily powerful inner world. Their minds are active, reflective, observant. They don't need constant conversation to feel alive. They don't fear silence. Silence is where they think. Silence is where they process. Silence is where they grow. While others distract themselves from discomfort, these women sit with it. They ask dangerous questions. Why do I feel this way? What part of me is unhealed? What truth am I avoiding? Carl Jung believed that those who turn inward early develop depth, but depth comes at a cost. Because the deeper you go inside, the harder it becomes to relate to shallow connections. These women are not antisocial. They are internally rich, and richness often requires solitude. Trait 2. An intolerance for the fake. Here is where friendships begin to fall apart. Many social circles survive on unspoken rules. Smile when you don't mean it. Agree when you don't believe it. Compete quietly. Pretend nothing is wrong. Women with this rare trait cannot do that. They feel inauthenticity instantly. Forced kindness, hidden jealousy, passive aggression, disguised as concern. They don't confront aggressively, they withdraw, because they refuse to play roles that betray their values. Jung warned that wearing a mask too long leads to psychological fragmentation. These women remove the mask early, and once you stop pretending, many people stop feeling comfortable around you. Not because you are wrong, but because you are real. Trait 3. Emotional self-sufficiency. Most people rely on others to regulate their emotions. They vent. They seek reassurance. They depend on constant feedback. Women without friends learn something different. Often early in life, they learned how to hold themselves together when no one else did. They learned how to sit with pain without collapsing, how to think instead of react, how to self-soothe. This creates emotional self-sufficiency. They feel deeply, sometimes overwhelmingly, but they do not spill their emotions everywhere. They are contained, and this containment is misunderstood. People call them distant, cold, unapproachable, but Jung understood this well. Those who master their inner chaos often appear calm, and calmness intimidates those who live in emotional noise. Trait 4. They trigger others without trying. This trait explains the quiet rejection. Women without friends are often not excluded openly. They are avoided. Why? Because self-aware women activate the shadow in others. Their presence raises unspoken questions. Why don't I know myself this well? Why am I pretending? Why am I afraid to be alone? They don't need to criticize. They don't need to confront. They simply exist, and that existence becomes a mirror. Jung believed that we resent in others what we refuse to confront in ourselves. So, instead of engaging, people distance themselves, and the woman is left wondering what she did wrong. Often, nothing. Trait 5. They are in a transformation phase. This is the most important trait, and the one almost no one talks about. Women often lose friends during transformation. When you heal, you disrupt old bonds. When you grow, you expose stagnation. When you change, familiar dynamics collapse. Friendships formed in survival rarely survive awakening. Jung believed transformation feels like death. Something familiar must end before something authentic begins. So the woman enters a season of solitude, and society calls it loneliness. But it is not. It is initiation, a psychological rebirth. This phase is temporary, but necessary, and many women quit here. They return to old patterns just to belong again. The rare ones don't. The reframe. If you are a woman with few or no female friends, ask yourself this carefully. Are you lonely? Or are you becoming someone you've never been before? Loneliness weakens you, but becoming strengthens you. Not every woman is meant to belong to a circle. Some are meant to become a center. Carl Jung once suggested that those who walk alone often carry something valuable. Insight, depth, wisdom. And wisdom does not scream. It waits. If this video resonated with you, it means you are listening to yourself. And that is where real power begins.